acts of depression. We see, global depression happening, but what is happening in the economic system appears to be exactly the same behaviors as one has when you go through a depression in the mind. You're replaying the same game over and over and over again, and it doesn't work, and you're replaying history in your mind. Some bad thing that happened, some bad thought, or some bad belief about yourself. Something is going on that you're replaying the same thing over and over and over and over again, and you can't jump out of it. And that's what's going on with our economic system. We have a lot of beliefs. They're all fucking wrong. But we're still doing it over and over and over again, just like repeating the same game over and over again, even though we know it's not working. Now, I'm watching a few, videos that are going up about these scanners. Seen a lot about the food. It's illegal to grow your own garden these days, and don't you dare sell your food to your neighbor. Wonder how they're going to get away from a barter system where you exchange food for something else, which isn't a currency. I guess they haven't thought of that one yet, but anyways, what I'm looking at with these elites, we want to see them as really, really evil people, but look at anything, any negative energy, anything that's negative, something that you would judge to be bad, just look at it as evil. If you're depressed, you got something evil going on inside you. Our economic system, we got something evil going on there. You see the game. Anything that you see as evil is actually just a negative energy. Something negative is going on. And look at these elites. They got all this stuff. The stuff that they buy, the stuff that all of us are buying, even them, has attached to it this idea that sex sells. And if you buy this, it'll make you happy. And if you buy this big house, it'll make you happy. This nice car, these clothes, all of these things will make you feel happy. Well, we all played that game out, and I know that stuff never made me happy. Maybe short-term pleasure, but it brings long-term pain. So, when you want to look at these elites, trust. They are friggin' in so much pain. They are in so much depression. And, it's like somebody with a mental illness is controlling the friggin' globe. And they don't know they're depressed yet because they have all of this stuff that the whole entire universe says you're worth something. You have all of this house. You are right. You are smart. You are it. And if it feels so bad, then in their minds, because they can't get out of it, they tend to think that it's a good thing. So they can't see that it's a bad thing. And they like to push your skills. It's like, if you want to be a better racer, then you push yourself to the edge. And so these people with this mindset that know that they're the best of everything, when they have a child, that's what they do to the child. As soon as the child is born, they stress the child out as much as possible until they break and can be controlled by the family. And then once you're into that programming within the family, then you just replay the family history out over and over again, but you'll tend to make it a lot worse until, maybe some smart one, which will probably be the black sheep of any one of these families, which, no doubt, if they cannot stress you to the point where you're brainwashed and go along with the family, they'll probably kill them. And we've seen that play out all the time, that you don't have to fear a stranger. You only have to fear your own friggin' family. So these elites, when they're born, they get zero love. It's all nannies. Everything is a freaking nanny. It's like, look at Kelsey Kramer's, well, soon to be ex-wife, you know, like she has something like 6 nannies for like 2 kids. It's ridiculous, you know, and she's all overworked. It's so much work for her, you know, like 20 slaves working after the girl, and it's so much work keeping these slaves in line, and she's just completely lost it. But that's the mentality of these elites, is they are just suffering from extreme depression. All of these all of the politicians, you know, all of these judges, anybody that has an awful lot, they're freaking really, really depressed, and they're trying to kill themselves. Because look at the game. They're destroying the food. Like, these people don't eat food. You know, like, they do this game, and you play this game out that they want to play for 100 years, there won't be any food that'll keep them healthy. And yet they want to live. You know, they want this perfect healthcare system, but yet they won't know how to live without good food. It's almost like they're trying to commit suicide. They've got, you know, body scanners that, you know, will radiate you if you go take an airplane. What do these rich people do? They fly all over the place, you know, so they're going to radiate themselves. You know, they're poisoning the Gulf, so they take away their vacation areas. They're, you know, but they're going to eat the fish, whether they like it or not. All that oil is going, you know, any fish that's coming out of an ocean that you pollute, you know, you kill your own food source, not just our food source, you know. So oh yeah, they probably got specially raised fish, but you can't escape it, because they're doing it to the air, they're doing it to everything, every fucking thing that they need to survive with, because they're human just like us, you know, is going to kill them too. But it's like, I seen this game plan more than 20 years ago, was on front page of every newspaper, TV news, radio for over 3 months. I was like the talk of Canada. Even made the top, what was it, top 30 things that Canadians wanted to see changed in our Constitution. I even was hosted a Spicer Commission with one of the 7 appointed commissioners in Canada, with some of the things that I could predict was going to happen. And it took 20 years for what I see to unfold. And the picture that I'm seeing that's going to unfold, like right now, it's, you know, the people at the bottom. It's kind of why it's like, for me to go after the money now, you know, to focus on, you know, okay, get your life in order and do everything that's wrong and fit in and earn that almighty buck. It's kind of like, I ain't going in that insanity. We have to make this system crash, is the only way we're going to gain power. But it's got to be crashing on our terms. And it is a non-compliance. Just don't comply with them. The only, you know, nobody's got any power right now. It's only the power that you give away. And, you know, these people just don't know what love is. And sometimes love means you have to be firm in, you know, okay, come talk to me when you're ready to talk to me. They have zero interest in listening to you, so you shouldn't be listening to them, because they're not ready to communicate. So it is like, okay, go play your game and see how that works for you, but I'm not playing the same game as you. And that's where it is very much a non-compliance. But while you do your non-compliance, if you throw out hate and negative energy at anybody that's depressed, it will only make them more depressed. It won't heal them. It won't show them how to have compassion for a human life. It's like you have to show them that you care about them, for them to learn how to care about you, because they were born Generations these people have been born into. Nobody gave a shit about them. So they don't even know how to give a shit about people. They don't even know how to care for themselves. It's like watching a bunch of, kids that have raised themselves with all the money in the world. And it's like, they don't even have any control for themselves. And that's part of the biggest reason. This is what control issues are. When you feel you need to control other people, that means that you don't know how to control yourself. So, and that's where they're at. They have zero control for themselves. They do as much stress as they can to try and make them have the control to do everything that's wrong. But they have no self-control to do anything that's right. And it's not like right for everybody. It's right for themselves. This game that's playing out, you take us out of there, and it will affect them. It is a domino effect. It starts off with, people at the bottom are going to be just the first that get affected. Then it's going to be the middle class. Then it's going to be the upper class. Then it's going to really hit the fan when it hits the upper top crust class. There's zero way this will not affect them. I have never ever been wrong in any of my predictions that I've seen. And that is a guarantee. These people are out to destroy themselves. They are suicidal. So you look at anybody that, in your own realm that's depressed. It's like, how do you get them out of it? And it's really amazing in my experience. I had a sister that was depressed all the time. She went to every friggin' doctor. I've even talked to the doctor she's been seeing because it's like, are you friggin', how come you can't, cure her? And she's taken every friggin' antidepressant. She's tried everything in the friggin' book. But you know what? She ended up curing her depression as soon as she just decided to shift what she believed. As soon as she just decided, you know what, I'm going to believe in something different. And she started getting into art, and now she paints and is doing really well. But we're talking about a person whose entire life, she's older than me, so 50 something, but since the time she was about 16 until in her, probably 50s, early 50s, maybe late 40s, this person was the most severe depressed person. It was really, really hard to have her in my life when I had kids, because she used to talk to my kids when they were like 3-4 years old and tell them how much she, I think today I'm going to run in front of a train, or I might run in front of traffic. I mean, she would give the kids information about how she wanted to kill herself, and it's like, this ain't too healthy for a kid to listen to. And she didn't really quite get that while she was in this depression that she's dealing with. So I know the pain of what people that are depressed, they do send that negative energy onto everybody else, and that's what's happening, is we're feeling the end results of their being depressed. But look at us as we are the right hand and they are the left hand. You can't escape it. You can't cut off part of your own friggin' body and think that that's going to be a solution. You have to think of all of humanity as one being, and it takes all of us to show an expression of love towards these people that are just suffering from a mental illness. And don't hate so much, because then you will turn into them and you will be depressed. So it's like, be better. It's just be smarter. It's just be wiser than they are. And you will only get that if you aren't angry, if you aren't depressed, if you. Anyways, just thought I'd share that a little bit. I don't know if that will piss people off, because they're really, really having a lot of fun hating the elites. And I just see them as, the empathy in my heart for these elites, is huge. I know they're dealing with an enormous amount of pain and they are lacking love. They have no clue what love really is. That's why they go for, Satan and shit like that, because if that's the only way they get love, that's where they're going to go. We just need to pave a different path for them to go down, too. Peace out.